Hi, my name is Jimmi.bradbury. I'm an international executive business coach, and I'm also the founder of the Young Entrepreneurs Academy. And we've just come into the first week of October 2020, and there's just over 80 days to go till the end of this phenomenal year, 2020. So I want to just tell you a little bit of a story. When I was a kid growing up in Ireland, one of the books that I used to really enjoy, I don't know how many times I read it, was a book by Jules Verne, and it was called Around the World in 80 Days. It was written in the Victorian times around the 1870s, and with the advent of the steamship and the railways, he predicted that we could actually travel around the world within 80 days. Now we can do it pretty much within 2 days, less than 2 days. I've done it myself a couple of times. And it's amazing how over the period of just over a century, how the world has changed immensely. But we've got to do another 80 days of this year. And I just want to kind of throw out to you the fact that even though it's been a very challenging year for so many people all around the world, like it's really been unprecedented, at least for our generation. I want to share with you that there are still so much that you can do in the last 80 days of the year. And I'll also share with you what I'm doing as well. But I think if we really look at the year as it has been already and say, well, we can't do anything about what's already happened. Things that have happened may have impacted our lives, people dear to us, but we've got to look at what we're doing now and what we potentially can do in the future. And with 80 days to go till the end of this year, there's so much that you can actually do and achieve that will give you a really good kickstart into the new year 2021. So I want to share with you today 3 things, really. First of all is deciding today is the day that you're going to start and do something and set yourself a goal whereby in just over 80 days on the 31st of December, envisage what it is you will be doing, where you will be, what you will have achieved and what you can accomplish certainly over the next 80 days. For me personally, over the next 80 days, I've got 2 big online launches, particularly next month in November, launching a big program that I've never launched before. And I'm really excited about that, as I am with the launch that I've coming up this month in October. So for me, I've got 2 big launches that I've got to do before the end of the year. So the second point really is if you decide what it is you want to do and the goals that you want to achieve, the second thing is to plan them out. Really kind of methodically plan out how it is those things are going to happen. It's almost like, you remember in the days when we used to go on holiday and we used to travel overseas? Remember those days when we used to fly? You know, we'd set ourselves, this is the holiday that we're going to have with our family, our spouse, our partner, whatever, our friends, whatever it might be. And we would say, this is when we're going, and then you would work back from then. And it's no different with setting your goals. So for the next 80 days, you might decide by the end of December, you want to achieve this goal. Now work back and plan for that. And that's what I'm doing with these launches. I'm here working from my kitchen table, as I have been doing for the last 3 years, building out online courses and programs and coaching people now on how to do it. You know my story. For the last 25 years, I have lived in the corporate world till I transitioned online 3 years ago. And now my whole life is transformed because I'm building online courses and programs that are impacting people around the world. And now I'm coaching people on how to do it as well. So trying to plan out what it is you want to do to achieve your goal is really, really important. And then the third thing that I know so many people find most challenging with this kind of initiative is that nothing matters except for execution. You've got to implement, and that's so important. But I think when you've actually worked out where your goal is and you work it back and plan it out quite methodically, and like me, if you were here in this room, which is my kitchen where I've been working for the last 3 years, you will see behind you all these post-it notes of the things that I need to do to make sure I hit my goals of my 2 launches and make sure they're implemented. And that is what you really need to do in order to implement. Like, we can't predict, or as I can't predict what the outcome is going to be, but I can actually follow the process to make it happen. And execution is so, so important. And I know for a lot of you that may be following me or following me now for the first time, you might not be familiar with this online world. Because like you, I was in the corporate world, or the 9-to-5 job, or the business I owned. I had those as well for 25 years, and I was constantly having the frustration that so many people have, which we're trading our valuable time for money, until 3 years ago I transitioned out of the corporate world, out of that 9-to-5 or 8-to-8 if it's a business you owned, and went online. And I know for a lot of you that it is new. So what I'm going to do for you today is I'm going to put in the comments below, or the link, to show you a free map of 20 things. I was going to say 10 things, but there's in fact 20 things that I've come up with, that I've been involved with over the last 3 years, that can actually get you online and be able to monetize your knowledge and experience that you've gained in a hobby, a sport, a skill. And I know that for me, in coaching people from all walks of life, over 40 people one-on-one now, from all walks of life, all around the world, Olympic athletes, CEOs of multi-million-dollar companies, single parents working from home, best-selling authors, actors, yoga teachers, physiotherapists, and the list goes on, that it is amazing how many modalities you have to be able to put that knowledge and experience out there online. So I'm going to put a link below where it is you can actually just get it for free. You can see how it is you can monetize your knowledge and experience in 20 different ways, and actually be able to get online and actually create either a side hustle or a business for yourself. And you can do it pretty much immediately. And the great thing is, you do not need much capital to do it. How cool that would be in this world that is changing every day, where you can build stability, security for yourself and your family by adding an additional stream of income to your life. So don't forget, in the link below, I'll put a free download that you'll be able to get to see 20 ways that you can get online pretty much immediately with no capital involved. Hope you found that useful, and that you, most importantly today, keep safe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.